Well, it's been a long time since we did a live, but we've had a lot of things going on, and schedule-wise, that hasn't made it very easy. I've got a weak connection, and I'm on my porch. That's the other reason we haven't done them, because our internet sucks. So I thought for sure that we would have good connection here, being next to the house. I'm going to show you. I wanted to do an update with Spry on retrieving. So this is Spry. You can see she's maturing nicely. Couple people joined in. Rhett joined in. Welcome, Rhett. Willie's in from Oklahoma. How you doing, Willie? So I'm going to make a few little retrieves with her on the porch. This is a place that I do a lot of retrieving with because it's a nice, I'm going to spin it around and view of what the dog's going to see. It's just a nice tunnel or channel. Welcome, Missy. Becky's in. Good afternoon, guys. So straight out and straight back is really easy for them to understand in this situation. I don't mind using fences. You guys have seen me do a lot of retrieves along that little woods. That'll be the next spot that I go with her. It's a nice straight line, but it's open on one side. So good morning, Patrick, or afternoon, Patrick. Stephanie is in. Chris is in. Gosh, it's good to see you guys again. Merrick Malak has joined in. He must have been off the water for a minute. Daniel's in. Amber's in. So, well, I know it's not Amber, it's Chad. But, so, welcome. Glad we're back. So, anyway, and my reception's actually coming in. So, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do a little trailing memory. And the other thing I wanted to update you on is, we haven't been live for a little while. We have been working now. Admittedly, for about the last week, I haven't done much with the dogs. Between temperature and schedule, I haven't done a whole lot. That doesn't mean we haven't done anything. It just means I haven't moved on to anything new. I've reinforced stuff that we're already doing. But prior to this, we all know that Spry struggled a little bit with retrieves. I went live when I was at our shop, and I showed you guys how she has a tendency, a real natural tendency to hold. She holds stuff really well. I'm actually gonna I'm getting pretty close to hold conditioning with her. She holds on to things. She'll take things usually pretty well. So she's checking this bumper. No, this is a big bumper. So I'm gonna put it in her mouth if she'll take it. I don't want to. If I had two hands right now, it'd be a lot easier. Sit. So I'm not gonna push it right now. Sit. When I put it on the tripod, I'll show you what I mean. But what I used to do was I would put this, I'm going to put it on the tripod right now. What I was doing was, at our shop, I was putting it in her mouth, the bumper in her mouth, and then I was recalling her with it, and that helped a lot. That got my confidence up with her on retrieves, and it helped a ton. So, now I'm going to go get her. You notice I don't call her over to me? I have started calling her off a place a little bit, just because she's proven to me that she's real solid on place. But, so when I see two hands, how easy it is, she'll take it, no problem. When I got one hand on a camera and I'm fooling around, it's an issue. It gets in the way. Hold, hold. Now I haven't hold conditioned her yet, but you can see how easy she takes it. Now I like this, and it's encouraging. And it tells me that hold conditioning is going to go really well. I'm going to get into hold conditioning. God, they're just awful. I'm going to get into hold conditioning soon before any bad habits form. She wants to take these things. Hold. And she has a real natural hold. So at our shop, I went live a couple days in a row. Sit. And I put her on hold, standing, and I recalled her to me. And she held on to it. I don't want her laying down. Come here, come here, come here. Good. And I would just recall her to me, and those were little mini retrieves. And then after that, I pitched it, and I was using a training dummy, an Antler dummy then. Then I would pitch it, and she'd pick it up and bring it back to me. So those were incremental steps that showed me, boy, she's getting a little bit better with this retrieving thing. It just took her a lot longer than most dogs to do, for me, historically anyway. So then we went up north for a week over 4th of July, and this dog retrieved a lot. Hundreds. Maybe not hundreds. 100, I bet. Retrieves in the water. I loved the water with her because there's nowhere for them to go. When she went out there and picked this up, she couldn't go anywhere. She had to come right back to me. So I got that straight out and straight back naturally because it was in the water. And I don't like retrieve, but what I had was, I had 2 other dogs retrieving, Taylor and Ellie. So she got about 1 out of 5 retrieves. 4 out of 5 my other dogs retrieved. And she sat steady and watched. So I got a lot of steadiness out of her. Those were her denials. But I got a lot of really, really good retrieve work. And from there, we've really accelerated with our retrieving. So the water helped me a lot with her to eliminate her from not coming straight back to me. And the biggest thing I had to be concerned with was when she came to the edge of the water, they have a tendency to shake and they spit this out. So I met her in the water for the first day. I'd stand in the water up to my knees, and as she came in, I'd pet her and pet her and pet her and love her up, and then I'd take it away from her. I didn't take it away from her very quickly. I let her hold on to it. And then I took a step back and a step back. And then eventually when she got to the edge of the water and she wanted to shake, I reminded her, no, hold. And I was right there to hold. Good, hold. Then she got to the point where she was coming up out of the water. Don't let her lay down. Then she was coming up out of the water and holding it. Hold. Dead. And then she'd shake. So remember that when you start doing. But I use the water to my advantage with this little dog to help me get her retrieving going. So I'm going to show you where we're at. Now, what I want to do too is, she struggled with, she's heeling off lead a lot. I heel her off lead more than I do on lead now. But she's heeling off lead pretty well. I can't quite do a trailing memory yet off lead. She has a tendency to want to go pick it up. So I can drop it, and she's steady. But now I'm gonna just take a hold of this. No heel. Heel it back. All right. Good. Come on. Good girl. Good. Hold. Hold. Not in a hurry to take it away. Hold. Just petting her. I'm not touching it yet. Hold. Hold. Dead. Good. Sit. That one I throw as a denial. Now I go pick it up. So this is where a lot of people get mixed up. When they start retrieving, they get so excited about retrieving, they throw it, and then they throw it, and then they throw it, and then they throw it, and they throw it, and then their dog gets so wound up that all that steadiness we've worked so hard for goes out the window. So about 1 out of 5 she picks up. About 4 out of 5 I pick up or another dog picks up. You can see I'm heeling her off lead, but I got that little steady tab. Sits to the flush, no heel. There, I got her to do it without lead. See her eyes, she's really dialed. Man, she's got a lot of go. She loves this. All right. Good. No. So she, here, come on. Good. Good, here. Good. Hold. 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 Same thing. Hold. Now, you heard my tone of voice change a lot there, because I'm going to show you when I get up to this. I don't have my training bag. I should have my training bag. I get that out of the way. Sit. So you just saw we heeled up off lead. Now I want to show you what it looks like. Wide open. And what she decided to do right there was, she said, I think I'm going to go check out the yard. Here. So my tone changed to remind her. That's why I'm in this tunnel right now. If I were out in the wide open yard, I don't know that I could get the recall the way I need it. So I'm going to get it out here first before I go out there. But I'll be out there soon. So we're taking this incrementally. I'm way further ahead than I was not too long ago, so I'm pretty happy about that. But I want to give you an update on it, on the retrieving. And as soon as I get out there and we get pretty good, I'm going to probably stop it out there, and I'm going to go to hold conditioning with her. Because with her, she holds so well right now, I want to take advantage of that and use that and kind of piggyback that onto hold conditioning. And once I'm done with hold conditioning, we'll set the world on fire with retrieving. I'm not worried about it. Now, a lot of people will go, man, how old is she? She's almost 9 months old now. And we're just getting to the point where I'm really getting excited about retrieving. A lot of people think that's backwards. I think it's spot on, because a lot of people have dogs that retrieve the lights out, but you can't do anything else with them. Alright, I moved it because I cut out there, but sit. Heel is a huge struggle for them. Place training is a problem. Their dog lunges at their kids. Having a lot of issues foundationally. And so a trainer asked them, well, why don't you have it on birds yet? I don't know, the dog's maybe 6 months old. Why don't you have it on birds yet? And she asked me, you know, why don't I have it on birds yet? And my answer is really simple. Do you want a dog that is real good in the field, but you can't do anything else with? Has to stay in the kennel because you can't handle anything else? Or do you want a family dog that works equally proficient in the field as it does in the house? And so the bird stuff, I think a lot of people fast forward to the fun stuff and the easy stuff and the stuff that comes naturally to the dogs. And then they don't have anything else that they can do with them except hunt. I'm not interested in dogs like that. Best hunting dog in the world means nothing to me because I can only hunt for a short period of time and I have to live the rest of the time. So I need dogs that I have. So 9 months old, and I'm just now getting to the point where we're doing retrieving. Admittedly, behind where I normally would be with other dogs, I don't care. I don't care. When the time is right, we'll get there. Trust me. Ellie's going to be 2 years old in August. I'm going to hunt with her for the first time this fall. And she'll probably perform as well as most people will probably would probably see her and go, I'd take a dog like that any day of the week. But it took me maybe an extra year to get her where she is. So what? She's there. Now I get to enjoy her the rest of next 10 years of hunting. So I'm going to spin through this quick and see if there's any questions. So thank you guys for tuning back in, man. I know it's been a while. See you in a few weeks at Poplar Bluff. We will be there. Got a question on retrieving. My pup will bring back certain objects, then others she won't even try. Any ideas how to get her more consistent? I know after force fetch she'll be fine, but just trying to get the habit form to make it easier. Force fetch, I prefer hold conditioning. Force fetch is going to put a lot of negative to it. There's a question I have for the force fetchers. If your dog struggles to pick it up now, why would it want to pick it up when you put negative to it? So that might be an issue. But as far as objects, early on, depending on how old the dog is, I'd just get the retrieving. I just want to get the retrieving habit down. So use something that they're doing well with. After hold conditioning, or if you're going to do force fetch, you're right, it should fix that. But I'd be cautious of the idea of taking something negative to something they already don't like. Because, boy, then you got double negatives. But as far as where you're at right now, depending on how old that dog is, I'd get them retrieving with what they do well with, and then change it up. I don't know what the objects are. So certain objects, is it specific bumpers? Eventually, you're right, you have to have them retrieve everything. Early on, to form the habit of retrieving, find something they like, and then maybe change it a little bit, change it a little bit, change it a little bit, until you can. It's no different than incrementally working towards anything we're doing in training. Cole just got off the phone with my beautiful wife. She's always good for conversation. Let's see. Brian Frisk. Steve is in. Steven was in. So, Amy's in. Good morning, Amy. Jeff Trudell got in on it. how do you get a dog to stop jumping up? And how do you get them to walk on a leash or heel without them tripping you? My dogs tend to get under my feet when walking on a leash. Okay, so two things there. How do you get them to stop jumping up? Jumping up a lot of times is them testing you. It's disrespect. It can't happen. So the way to fix it is get them to respect you. How do you get them to respect you? Well, lots of little things that you can do with just pack stuff. Feeding times. That helps get dogs to respect you. Make them be patient, make them wait, that you eat first, all that stuff. So that's just where they are in the pack. And jumping up is putting paws on you, and that's testing. So physically, the actual time that they jump up, I can correct it as well. I oftentimes just flip them right over. If they jump up on me, I'll grab them by their front feet, and I'll flip them on their back. And I'll give them a growly no. Usually takes one time. And then they go, don't do that again. But then they're going to go jump on the kid, or they're going to jump on my wife, or they're going to jump on someone else to test them. And if they don't react the right way and they don't have the dog's respect, dogs very rarely jump on me. And it's usually because my body language shows them that I'm a leader. So you got to become a leader, Stephanie. And then the idea of heel, work on heel drills. I don't know if you've had a chance to see the Foundation DVD, but there's a lot of heel drills there. Heel work does not take place on walks. I think a lot of people think we practice our heel work taking walks. You saw me take walks for a long time going live because I could only get reception besides next to my house down the road. So I'd walk down there and go live. Well, that is not where I worked on heel, walking 3/4 of a mile down there. It's the little drills. I can work on heel and not leave a 10 square yard radius. I can turn, I can make 180s, I can do square drills. So that's where you're going to work on the heel drills. And it's them figuring out, it's just, so you talk about them tripping you, my dogs tend to walk under my feet. It's like dancing. When people haven't danced together before, they step on each other's feet all the time. The dog's got to get a feel for you, and you got to get a feel for it. So though that comes in drills, and that's where, like dancing, you practice. You don't just go out to get to be a good dancer, which Polka Days is coming up, and Steph and I will be on the floor. But to get to be a good polka-er, and we're not, we polka once a year, and it's during Polka Days. We don't look very good on Thursday night. By Saturday night, and depending on what time it is, I guess, we get better because we get a little bit of rhythm with each other. But if we really wanted to be polka-ers, we would practice. And you don't practice by going to a polka fest. That's not practice. That's performing. So you gotta do the drills. You know, I use basketball a lot in those analogies. You don't become a good shooter by playing basketball. You become a good shooter by doing shooting drills. You don't become a good ball handler by playing basketball. You dribble around chairs, and you do all sorts of like little mini formal things to get muscle memory in that. That's where we get good with our heel work. So you gotta do the drills, Stephanie. That's where that forms. Jeff says I may have to attend Polka Days just to see you cut. Hey, never know, man. We might be live from Polka Days. Likely not. But that's it, I think, for questions. So I apologize, guys, for the long delay with the lives. Just schedule, man, has been really tough, and internet hasn't helped us here at my place. So that's an update on Spry with some of her retrieving. We're going to continue on, pushing on. Like I said, man, I haven't done much new with these dogs in about a week. And it's a combination of weather, schedule, just things going on. Well, what does that sound like? Sounds like life, right? So I want you guys to realize I'm in the same boat as you. Sometimes I'm not necessarily always pushing forward with these dogs, but I'm not going to go backwards during that time either. So patience, and then more patience, and eventually we'll get there. Ellie is a prime example, coming up on 2 years old. She's going to hunt the lights out this year. I think she's going to be phenomenal in the field. I just posted a video, posted it late last night, but I scheduled it for this morning, of a drill that I did with her up north. It's about 29 minutes or something, the video, so I don't know if you're going to have it in you to watch the whole thing or not. But it was the compilation of all week we built up to this big circle memory that we covered a couple acres, and we had 3 retrieves that we made a big circle memory out of. And it was a relatively complex drill for her, and she didn't do it perfectly. So if I had had another couple days, I'd have reset that, and then I'd reset it, and then by the end of 3-4 days, I think we'd have nailed it. So what? We didn't nail it. We're not getting judged. I'm not a ribbon guy. I don't care about ribbons. I want dogs to find birds when they're down. I want dogs to find antlers when they're down. I want dogs to find deer when they're dead. So that's it. You're doing a great job. I enjoy your live videos. Steven, I appreciate it. I'm going to do more of them, I promise you. So we're getting back on the wagon here. We're just like Brewers fans. All of a sudden they started winning and we're all going to be their fans. Well, once I get going with one, I'm going to try to keep doing more. So you guys have a great rest of your day. I'm off.